Episode 5. Thank you guys for coming back. It's Tuesday. Okay, so episode 5. So this one's titled One More Game, like Top said. Talking about episodes 5 through 7, and now we're going to be doing my overall Squid Game review for season 3. Oh, season 2. Look, I'm speaking in the future. All right, so today, let's talk about One More Game. One More Game is basically talking about this is like the after result of all the teams all the teams results from the team Six Legs, and then this episode was also discussing about Jun-ho, the fun detective for Jun-ho, basically talking about like how his progress is going with finding him right now. I'm gonna go and talk about Jun-ho first. I feel like as a detective, his boss had a lot of patience with him, because in the meantime, he went to his boss. Like I said, like they put him to, after the events of Squid Game season 1, they put him as like basically like a meter maid, almost put him as a meter maid pretty much. And then basically he went to his boss and was like, hey, like I want to be back on the case, blah blah. So he talked to his boss, and the boss talked to the commissioner, and the commissioner was just like, you know what, I can't keep saying that, like I can't keep ignoring this, you keep pushing it, which to me leads to the fact that he might be getting paid off as well. Because my thing about being a detective as well, I think about being a detective as well is just that you're pretty much giving a carte blanche. Like you're allowed to do whatever you want to do as long as you bring the guy in. So him being mad about him going on something that he would be funding himself with Song's money tells me all I need to know. Okay, that tells me all I need to know about how he feels about everything. Cause I was like, why would you be pressed about what he's doing with that money, right? Anyways, child. So that aspect, so it just shows it's just showing how he blames himself for Song getting pretty much lost at sea. We don't know where he's at, so they're still looking on the island to see where they're generally at, which this is one thing that I can say too as well, that I was kind of confused on like, where are they? Like where are they? Like, are they off the coast of Daegu, or are they like, where are they? Like that was the main question, that like it just said like they were just in the sea as a sailman or whatever, blah blah, and he's just off in the middle of the sea. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I don't know where they're at. Like, I don't know. Are they near the smaller islands? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm no geologist, but something about how they're able to go out there with I was kind of confused, like with no type of like, no type of like resource, like no GPS. Like there's certain parts of the world that we still don't have mapped out. Did y'all know that? Fun fact. Anyway, so with One More Game, they're basically talking about, should we continue the game or not? And so they set up the game for, its case it's called merry-go-round. The premise of it is that how many sides I guess of the letters that you see, or I don't know if it's a size combination, because sometimes they'll say 3. So 3 is basically grab 3 people should be in each room, you lock it, and whoever's not in that room gets got. Okay, so if you see a square, that means there needs to be 4 people. You see a triangle, there needs to be 3 people. I mean, I think a circle means 2. I don't know, child. No, it's not really size. I'm getting too analytical with it. But anyways, that's pretty much the premise of the game. And so they set that up. They mostly just show like that fear of course, but while all is going around, Top is like bang bang bang. Like I was like, what's going on? But they set up the premise for the next game, and it just shows that, like, to me, my reaction to that was the fact that they have a lot of games in South Korea. Okay, I need to teach you something, because that sounds like Loki. That sounds kind of fun to like try to see who can we get in the game, like who can we get in like to play that. But this also looks like something they've built as well. Everything's on camera, so everything's camera, so that this basically how they're going to stress it. And then of course there's still like that inner beef between the X's and the O's. Like there's still that inner beef there, so that's also building as well, because it's just like, okay, whether you're an X or O, I need somebody to go in here with me. Okay, I need somebody to go in here with me. But it was definitely interesting to show that like both Jun-ho Jun-ho and Ji-hoon are both going through stuff at the same time. So we're gonna go into episode 6. 6 is pretty much them playing the merry-go-round. So first things first, it's chaos because I can't even hear. Like, I'm watching the show, I'm just like, what? Did you say 2? Did you say 2 or 3? I can't hear. Okay, like I can't hear. Like I would have got because I was like, now come again. Did you say 2 or did you say 3? I don't know what you said. But basically, first, of course, like a lot of people start getting got because like I don't think they understand when they say if you're left out, they're not gonna like, okay, hey, there's one in there, go over there. They're not here to help you. And then it also shows too, which made it even scarier, the fact that like there's cameras in the room. So like I said, it's a merry-go-round. It's a merry-go-round, and then like there's different rooms, but the rooms, there's cameras inside the room. So if you sit there, like one person, like another example, that one person was just like, oh, okay, they said 2. Okay, they said 2, and so there was 3 of them, and he said, oh, you don't think I'll notice? So they went in and they finished everybody in the room. So it's a group project. Okay, and like I said, there's no individualism. It's more of a collectivism mindset in sociology. It is a group project. Everybody needs to work together. And then we see, which to me, like that, this was like the most heartbreaking part to me. The most heartbreaking part to me was the fact that like the son and the mother got separated. My heart hurt because like you could see on her face when she was like, she was hurt that he went away with, he didn't, I feel like she was hurt that he didn't try to protect her or try to go with her. But then it was also kind of like a mother's love. It's just like, I'm just glad my son's okay. And then she gets yanked by 001 and Song, because they both take her into the room because it was 3 or whatever, blah blah. And then there's a round as well where 001 is in the same room with Bolo Rapper, right? The one who has the mom. So they're in the room together, and so like basically there's 3 of them in there. So one person, he didn't want to leave, so 001 made him reconsider, and he stopped breathing. And so like he kind of looked at him and was like, dang, like, so we just gonna ignore that, So afterwards, like there's a lot of people who got eliminated, but there's still a lot of people who's left, and so they're in there. And so like while they're voting to see like who's gonna vote X or O, basically the election, who's gonna vote X or O, the guy, Mr. Bolo, I'm gonna call him Mr. Bolo. Mr. Bolo is just like, hey, actually, because he was talking to the main character Song, he was like, hey, like there was a moment in there, and then he gets cut off, and then like 001 goes and votes as an X. Basically, he does not want to continue the game, so he's like, never mind, blah blah. And so it just really showed that like sometimes we are hypocrites, because I know at one point everybody has had that time, not like the movie. The series is a little bit extra, but everybody's had that time where they're just like, should I go against my morals, or should I go against my morals, or should I do the right thing, And like I said, of course, 001, he's evil because come on now, he's from season 1, like he's the main bad guy, like come on now. But I feel like as well that like, as much as he wants to sit there and say, oh my God, like, there was a time where 001 did A, B, and C. I was like, if you wouldn't be telling the story, would you? And if you look closely as well, I can't show too much because of copyright, but if you look closely, at one point when the 2 men grabbed the son away from his mom, he walked with them. He did. Like they grabbed him at first, but when they got to the door, he had time to run back, but he walked with them into the room. Okay. So there's that. And then and then the end of the episode is pretty much you go back to the captain of the ship for whatever. He's like, he pretends like he doesn't know what a drone is, which I know is cap. It's 2024. You know what a drone is. And so he pretends he doesn't know what a drone is, but later on that night, so that showed that he was sabotaging it. So one of the members from the Marines saw that he was sabotaging, like, hey, what are you doing? So he ends up de-lifing him and throwing him overboard. And then when Jun-ho's second in command is like, hey, what's wrong? He comes over and he's like, oh, I don't know, the boat is crazy, I don't know what's going on, blah blah. So it turns out that surprise the boat guy is evil. Like no one was surprised. Like you found him in the middle of the sea. I know he's fine, but let's be serious, okay? So episode 7. This one's called Friend or Foe. This is pretty much the conclusion. This is pretty much the conclusion of season 2. Look, I'm like, I want season 3 right now. This is pretty much the conclusion of season 2, and basically it pretty much shows that this is like it pretty much shows that now we're back to like we're back to the Squid location, unknown location, right? And so basically we're back over there, and Song is like, hey, main character, he's like, hey, at night they're going to try to flip the switch, right? They're going to try to flip the switch, and because apparently there was an incident earlier with Thanos. There was an incident with Thanos earlier where he got because he tried to attack Mr. Cryptocurrency in the bathroom and try to change his vote. And so they ended up with casualties on both sides because, like I said, a lot of people don't understand this about the concept of Squid Game. Squid Game is, there's no rules, but there's stipulations. Does that make any sense? So if that's how you want to get close to the money, if you want to sit there and whatever, now, so basically they have lights out. Basically they call it special mission for... They have a special mission, aka we can only have so many people get got or blah blah. And so basically what ends up happening is that the triangles are waiting outside basically as the kids fight, and then they'll come in and try to like basically stop that as well. I realized I did not mention the artist and the guard. So there's a guard there that number 11, there's a guard, and she pretty much is there because her child is in North Korea and she doesn't know where they're at, okay, and she just wants to have money so that she can fully have more investigation. But she also is working like a job as a stuffed animal, and basically one of the guys there, his daughter has blood cancer, unfortunately, and so he's at the game. So the reason I didn't mention her because I feel like they're gonna play a bigger role more in season 3. I feel like they're mentioned a little bit in season 2, but I don't think it was enough. But I just want to let y'all know I'm covering my bases. But anyway, so they pretty much everybody, the X's and the O's, are fighting a very aggressive game of tic-tac-toe. Okay, so there's a lot of casualties on both sides. So the plan for Team X, basically led by Song and 001, is to hide under all the, like, they're basically like this, basically set up in like a slumber party. It's basically set up like in bunk beds, so they're on the very bottom floor while everybody else is taking each other out. And then the triangles come in, because the triangles are, fun fact to the quote Squid Games, the triangles are the enforcers, the circles are the circles are pretty much the pawns, and the squares are the managers, right? So the triangles come in and pretty much enforce them. And so this is when they start doing their coup d'etat, and they come in, they do the coup d'etat, and they basically come in and grab all their guns, and so they start making their ways towards the main whatever, blah blah. And so as they go there, they start like, so they're winning at one point, and then 001 finally turns to rally. Finally, he fakes the fact that he got delifed on the microphone, and then like he finally turns on them, and then basically it ends with everybody who's still playing the game, and then it ends also with Ji-hoon, his friend being like basically delifed in front of him, and then 001, aka frontman, aka brother of Jun-ho, aka model, okay, he ends up saying, hey, did you like playing the hero? And that pretty much ends the series. It also showed too, like during combat, there was a PTSD with one of the Marines that was on the team for Squid Games, and he was supposed to go get the ammunition to basically even the playing field, and he never came back. There's also a point too of when they kidnapped one of the triangles, and he ended up seeing 001 on their side, and he kind of like made a weird face. Then he was taken out as well. And then it really showed too, as with the trans woman, with them, like they were like an excellent lieutenant, like they did that, and they were going to still attack, but the mother of Mr. Bolo was like, hey, I don't want you to go out like this, like just just put the gun down so we can just finish that, and that pretty much ends the series. I mean, the season for that. My overall review, I give it a 4.75 out of 5. I'm going to go with the negative. I'm going to end with the positive. Negative, I literally have on here Junho's to find a die. I don't like the fact that we're going to pretend like it's very easy to find somebody in the ocean. Like, he literally got shot in his left arm and fell backwards. Okay, so your fault, like, people don't understand, like, when you fall into water, it's not like jello. It's not jello. Like, you're like, we got to think about physics, right? Okay, so you're falling backwards. You're here. Woo! And you trying to tell me you still, one, you still look good. Two, you like what? The most he had was like a broken arm, and he's just healing finally. Like, let's talk about that. I have a con on here is everyone is good looking, please. Like I literally have on here, I was like, why is everybody good looking? This is very disheartening because it's like it's really hard to feel bad. Like it's really hard to feel bad. Like the recruiter is GQ. Frontman is like, you know, like everybody is fine. Like maybe we needed somebody who was a little bit less conventionally attractive. Like everybody's jawline cut me more than the triangles did. Like let's talk it a bit. I have on here 001 obviously turning on them wasn't a surprise. Like I knew he was going to turn on them at one point. Like it was almost like, okay, and he's gonna do it now. Like it was just like I wasn't surprised that he turned on them. Like you're not gonna tell me that he hung around humanity for a little bit and was like, you know, you guys aren't that bad. Like pretty much when you have that mindset of how you view people, like it's pretty much that. I have on here splitting it into two pieces. You're gonna stop splitting my dinner up. That's what you're gonna stop doing. Okay, if I want to eat all my candy and all my stuff now, I want to eat it now. Like splitting into two pieces will always piss me off because to me it feels like you're just trying to get more money. You're not really trying to build it. Like you're breaking the momentum. I feel like it's just horrible. So let's go into the positives. The action. Like there was a lot more action this time around. I appreciate that because enough talk. Like enough talking, please. We exposited as much as we could in the first season. Enough of that. Like I really like the fact that there was a lot of action back to back. I like the fact that there's new games. Like I could see the 6 legs thing. I could see that being a staple at the family reunion. For 2025, I could see that being a staple at the family reunion. The merry-go-round, that's gonna be hard. Okay, that's gonna be hard to build. Can you imagine you build that just for a family reunion or a baby shower or whatever? That's gonna be a little bit hard to build. I don't know. That's gonna be a lot. Okay, that's gonna be a lot. I have on here too the voting system. I wasn't expecting that, like an actual voting system, and people can see who you voted for by like what set you ramp in. Like, I like that was pretty cool. I have on here T.O.P. Like he literally carried. Like I know a lot of people were just like they were cringing at his Kringlish. But me personally, like a lot of y'all can't even speak English. Like why he's bilingual. I want to say he speaks a little bit of Spanish too. Not because he said, "Hey, señorita," not that, but I want to say he speaks Spanish and maybe a little Portuguese. I'll have to look it up. But Top was definitely that. He was definitely he was him. He's who he thinks he is. Unfortunately, he can't. Fun fact: he can't promote because there's a lot of backlash between his past. So a lot of Koreans wouldn't have supported the series, unfortunately, if he would have promoted. Okay. I have on here 001. Like he acted his bum off. Like I feel like he was a really good example of he did what needed to be done. Another person who did what needed to be done, Song Ji-hyun. He's another person that I was just like, you won an Oscar this time, huh? Like he acted like the PTSD that he had from the season 1. Because like often we forget that yes, it's a series, but I love the fact when series really sit there and like really sit in those emotions, really sit in the fact that this took place. You know, I really like that. And then another one too, Gong Yoo. I want to say it's Gong Yoo. I have to look him up, but I'm doing a video with him tomorrow on Wednesday about sociopath. Please look it up. But he's another person that I was saying like he's also going for his Oscar as well. Okay, he's going for his Emmy nomination for. I'm speaking to his Emmy nomination for Best Supporting Actor in a Limited Series. I'm telling you, Gong Yoo got it because like the show the comorbidity of being this person who's so in control to being basically this monster. You know. as a recruiter. Amazing work. Like, these actors really did their thing, and it's just so hard along Seo. Like, my Korean's weak, so I'm really looking forward and excited for season 3 for 2025. And that's all I have to say. Don't forget to subscribe, share. Let's go.